Come on, baby. We're about to show you one of the lamest cows I've brought to you on this channel. So let's get on this trim, let's get in there, and let's see if we can help this girl out. But she's really not good. Now this is a cow that's gonna need a lot of work. Hello again, guys, and welcome back to another Keeping Cows Moving video. In this video, we're going to show you guys one of the worst cow's feet I have ever trimmed. Now, as you can see here, she won't even let me pick up this hoof. It is so sore. She won't even leave it on the floor long enough for me to get a contact with my hoof grabber effectively. So me and Will are now going to try and get that hoof up by lifting her other leg, so it kind of forces her to put a little bit of weight on this hoof, and now I'm able to get a contact with my leg grabbers and lift her up and try and make this girl as comfortable as we possibly can. But as you guys could see from that intro, there is some serious damage inside of this hoof. And as you can see here, I had to tighten my ropes up because she was fidgeting her leg just a little bit too much. So yeah, when they are fidgeting around while I'm trying to trim, it's just not the easiest to trim. It's not particularly safe because I do not want my grinder to catch and go wrong onto her hoof or go wrong and potentially hit me. So I want to make sure these are super tight when we are trimming these issues like we're seeing right now. But we're going to bovie bond on a shoe. We've gone with the TP block because it's long wearing. Now, I'm sure I'll get comments from people saying, why aren't you putting two shoes on? And if you wait until the end of the video, you will see exactly why we're not putting two shoes on this girl. So you're going to have to wait and see why we're not doing that. But let's go on into this trim. Let's start trying to trim away some of this loose horn. You may have noticed when I was using the grinder, it was a kind of change of pitch when I was using it. And as you can see, there is a massive hole in this hoof, and that may explain why there is a change of pitch.
Oh dear, but she was under a lot of pressure.
Oh my god, no wonder she literally couldn't walk coming in. She like could not bear any weight on it at all.
Yeah, she didn't want to move. No wonder she's lying down so well.
Might just
Because that is gaping.
gaping.
I was gonna use an analogy, but couldn't find the PG one. Hard word to say that is.
Analogy.
An analogy. You can't do it.
You definitely can't. Fucking hell. As you
An
guys can
analogy.
probably hear, Will and I were both
It's a weird
really
word,
surprised
isn't it?
what we
Who
found
thought that'd
in
be a
this
good word?
hoof.
That's
Now,
not
this
fair, but
infection has more than likely got down and it's damaged the pedal bone. The pedal bone is the bone, almost if you imagine your fingers, it would be like your last tip bone on the finger. Maybe the easiest way to explain it for people to understand that don't understand cow's feet. But this bone is going to be super damaged, and all of the fat pads, the corium, everything around this is going to be inflamed and potentially infected, and that is what we are trying to super delicately deal with. Whoa. Jesus, there's still a hell of a cavity, and no wonder it sounded hollow with the grinder.
Are you referencing the Carly Minogue song there? Wow, wow, wow.
What does it go like? Sing it.
No.
Wow, wow, wow.
She has a lovely song.
She has
Also with good trim.
up there with genuinely one of the worst feet I've ever done this. If you can just...
That side door open.
If she'll come up this way, that'd be dreamy. Oh, she's pitching on it. She wasn't pitching on it before.
Doesn't know what to do just yet.
No. Come on, baby. Right, if we blast the crush off, yeah, and then I'm hoping she'll then... Dear of her. Let's see if we can find this cow. Oh. She actually hasn't taken much finding at all. She's just stood here eating. Let me turn the camera up. So she is literally just stood eating. You can see she is very much still struggling with that foot, but just see if I can get her to walk. Come, darling. So when she stood, she is actually weight bearing on it, which she wasn't doing before. And quite often with a situation like that, I would be double blocking. I would be putting 2 blocks on it, making it nice and thick, giving her plenty of clearance, and it'd be perfect. But on this farm, there's a lot of slopes, everything's slatted, and it just does not work. Let me just wander around. You should be able to see what I mean by, you know, when it's steep slopes, there's corners with these slats. Makes it a bit of a challenge to keep a shoe on, so I just wasn't going to risk it. But as you can see, she is actually moving around, she's walking around. She's been lying down since I got here. She wasn't getting up to eat, she wasn't drinking, she's been like that a couple of days, and she is now eating, she's drinking, and she is semi-mobile. As you can see, she's moving. You can see here she is actually fully standing on it, which apparently she hasn't been doing for a few days. So let me show you what I mean by these steep slopes and why we struggle to keep these shoes on. Just leaving will wash off, but yeah, can you see it from here? Not really. Let me wander around. Slats, holes, and then they've got these slopes right here. Let me show you. So they're coming down. You can't really tell the gradient here, but it is very, very steep. And it's just a bugger for keeping shoes on. Steep ground, so if I'm putting 2 blocks, it's just giving a much more room to slip. So by putting just a 1 block on, we're sort of gaining we're just gaining a little bit of clearance, but we're not risking the shoe coming off, fingers crossed. So yeah, hopefully you'll see that gal in a month or 2. Follow along, give us a subscribe, and we'll see her in a couple of months' time. Sorry, just hear Will shouting. I think the pressure just broke.